the Mets made moves around the trade deadline to try and take another step, right? They want to get in the playoffs. Their owner is a billionaire. Matter of fact, billions is based at least loosely on, on Axe Capital. And what's his name? What's Axe's first name? I can't even remember, think of what Axe's first name. Anyway, that's basically based on their owner, Steve Cohen. Do you guys know that? Anyway, so they got this money to burn. They go out and they get it, and they've been struggling since the trade deadline. They, again, this is on ESPN.com. They have a 2.4% chance of getting to the playoffs. They were swept by the Giants. They lost 3 of 4 to the Dodgers. Before that, they lost 2 of 3 to the Giants, 4 in a row to the Dodgers. So when they played the top of the NL West, they were getting mollywomped. They had previously swept the Nationals, and they took 2 of 3 from the Nationals over the weekend, which reinvigorated them, which allowed Javy Baez, their new shortstop, to get a couple of hits. That's when Javy Baez broke out the thumbs down gesture to his hometown fans. Here's Baez explaining why.
We're gonna struggle 7 times out of 10, and it just feels bad when we strike out. When I strike out and I get booed, it doesn't really get to me. But like I want to let them know that when we success, we're gonna do the same thing to know how to let them know how it feels. Because if we win together, then we gotta lose together. And the fans are really a big part of it. So in my case, They gotta be better, I play for the fans and I love the fans, but if they're gonna do that, they just putting more pressure on the team, and that's not what we want.
So Javy Baez, you're only allowed to cheer your home team players, right? That's what he's telling us. Look, I'm not a big booer. I don't boo my home fan. I wouldn't boo my home team. It also is New York, and it's the Mets, and you have an incredibly passionate fan base. He knows he played for the Cubs. The difference is the Cubs were bad for so long that any sign of being decent, they would cheer for, especially early on. And then when 2018, when he's a runner-up for the MVP, he had 34 home runs and had 111 RBI, and an OPS of .881, obviously they were cheering for him a lot. He's been injured. He missed a lot of games and just hasn't been as good. Led the league in strikeouts in 21, even though he only played 100. How about this one? He only played 108 games. He struck out 153 times. And this year, in roughly the same amount of games, I think he's played 100. I actually think it's 108 games again. He has, again, 153 strikeouts. Same number in the same number of games. And roughly the same number of bad bats. It's bad. He's a windmill. But this, you can't boo me, and so I'm going to give you the thumbs down gesture when I do well. What? What solar system does this human being live in? What reality does he live in? Again, I'm not for MFing your own team or any team. You just don't. You don't throw things at people. You don't threaten people. But booing when a guy's or a team collectively, your own owner, by the way, took to Twitter and said it's inexplicable how this many good hitters during their doldrums just couldn't hit. It's not inexplicable. You played against better teams, and good pitching beats good hitting. But, on paper, Pete Alonso, Francisco Lindor, Jonathan Villar, Michael Conforto, you add in Javy Baez, you're like, wow, that's a pretty good lineup. Only they haven't been able to hit consistently against the top of the league. But I mentioned that athletes are smart because most are. Javy Baez, to me, appears to be an absolute idiot. You're new to the team. You're trying to endear yourself to the fans. And, oh, yeah, by the way, do you know what happens around September every year? Do you know why they have the call-ups in September? Obviously now minor league baseball is very different. But do you know why they expand the rosters? It's to get you excited for next year. This is when season ticket renewals go out. So, hey, here's the thought. How about we don't alienate our fan base by thumbs downing him. Not that anybody actually cares about a thumbs down gesture from a player, but if at least one player doesn't or one parent doesn't, I got a youth team, or if it's an adult team, like one guy doesn't want to be traded there or sign as a free agent there or whatever, or can't play, can't function when anybody's being booed. What's the win in it for Francisco? Not for Lindor, I'm sorry. What's the win on it for Javy Baez? You're not hitting well. You're not hitting well. They're going to cheer you when you do well and boo you when you do poorly. That kind of sounds like New York with every sports team. And the more you draw attention to it, the more it makes anybody else who thinks, maybe I'll sign with the Mets next year, they have an owner with ungodly sums of money and they clearly want to be good. Yeah, I don't know. There's back and forth between the owner and the players and the land. And I don't understand Baez's stance in any way. I didn't say it's supposed to feel good. It's not supposed to feel good. But like suddenly Javy Baez is a participation trophy guy. Oh, hey, you tried, Javy. Good try. You tried. Way to go. Way to go. That was a great try. Did you guys see how he swung? He missed. Yes, it's his third strikeout of the game. That's called a golden sombrero. Sombrero. No, it's not. It's not an ethnic slur. It's actually called a sombrero. Yeah. Yeah, did you see how he struck out? But he tried, so we don't boo.